Hey, Travels with Dottie here, and it's November the 14th, 2025. And it occurred to me today, I have not given you a in-depth, thorough tour of this Casita travel trailer, my home base, where I spend now 6 months out of the year. Let's check it out in as much detail as possible. All right, let's start with the trailer. So you see there's full hookups, which is no surprise, but there's also a very large propane tank, which is, I believe, 100 gallons. So it's a lot of propane. And spoiler alert, and you'll see in my storage shed, I have a propane generator that I can use if there's ever a prolonged power outage. This is the outside of the 2021 Winnebago Micro Minnie 2100 BH. It's got the Explorer package, the Comfort Tech package, and I don't know what any of that means, but it's been a really good trailer. Let's see, show you both sides of it. You got my Starlink dish up there. There's one slide out you can see on that side. And actually, check out in here. This is the bunk model, but guess what? There are no bunk beds here. It's all storage. And guess what? All that stuff down there in Amazon boxes and other boxes, that is my new solar system that's going to be installed by my good friend, Denny with DDK Travels, and we're going to do a video on that probably sometime in December. In my electric e-bike, it's the light model, which folds in half and fits right behind my seat in the truck. Why don't I show you the truck too? Hey, I might as well, comprehensive, right? It's a 2018 Ford F-150 XLT. It's a 3.5 EcoBoost, and I think that's a 6-foot bed. And it's got what we call a soft topper on it. Out of Boulder, Colorado, it was about $1,000, a lot less money than the hard shells, and it's been fantastic. One of the big selling points was I have a friend of mine in Quartzsite that has the same thing, has had it for 7 years, and it looks identical to this. The wear in 7 years is perfect. And inside here, we have the back where where the cooler is where I can put the bike and other supplies. You can see the passenger seat is a dog bed. Guess who goes there? Dottie. And last year I added this huge screen that I did have problems with recently, if you've been watching my videos, but it's working great now. I love this truck. It's rated, it says it'll pull 11,000 pounds, and my Micro Mini with everything in it is about 5,000 something. So I got plenty of room for that. Let's take a look inside here. We'll take a look inside. All right. So, do I need to put lights on? Probably. Let's put some lights on. Lights. We'll open the bathroom door so you can see everything. We'll come back to that. And we'll start in the front here. This is the bed. It's a full-size bed. It's, doesn't fold up or it doesn't fold up or anything. We'll put on a light here at the door. But it's very comfortable. I bought a nice mattress and a mattress topper. Right here, it used to be a dinette, but guess what I have there? I have a Lazy Boy recliner that I love, and this is my makeshift desk. And when I'm traveling in it, when I leave here, this will slide over like that, and there's room for my office chair in there, and this is where I set up my computer when I'm not here at the home base. This is a recent addition. This is one of these things that it kills flies, which is necessary here. There are a lot of flies here. Then we have the kitchen, which in the kitchen is this screen is about twice as big as what came with it. But when I'm working in the kitchen, I can easily move this out of the way, and I got plenty of counter space, at least for me. This is the sink, stove, convection oven, pantry, sound system. What else do I have? And I love know what the temperature is inside and out. And of course my two-way fridge that does either propane or it's 120. It's not 12 volt. I wish it was, but it's not. When I boondock, I do the 12 volt. And I'll show you in here in the bathroom first, then I'll close the door and show you the storage there. But replace the toilet with a porcelain toilet. There was a plastic one in here. Then I replaced the shower head with an Oxygenics. So the Oxygenics, it gives you good flow even with lower water pressure. And all I have here is, look, a mirror. It's the only mirror I have in the place. And then for storage, this was a beautiful thing. It hangs on the door, and it's all sorts of things that I need, mostly related to the bathroom and maintenance things. But it's a real space saver. Now, this would normally be a bunk bed, but not here. Look, I've got drawers worth of stuff. This is my laundry bag. There's a lot of room back there that I'm not even using. Check that out. There's a suitcase back there that I haven't used in forever. And then there's more storage back there. And then underneath, there's storage down there. So there's 3 levels. There are all my tools and everything. So I've got a ton of storage that I'm very happy with. Oh, and this is a specialized, I'm struggling to remember the name of it. Is there an about thing here? Well, I'll try to, in editing, I'll try to show you what it is. But it's fairly expensive, but there's a lot of extra settings on it. I can connect to it by Bluetooth, or you see Wi-Fi here from anywhere, and I can control my AC, heat, and everything. It's a really handy thing, especially if I leave Dottie and George in here, and I can flip it on. If it gets too hot, I get a temperature alert, which I usually have cameras. One of them is usually here, but it's in the Casita, and I'll move it back over here when it's time to go. And it has a temperature sensor on it. It'll alert me if the temperature gets too high or too low, but mostly I'm worried about too high. And this has an identical feature, so I'll get 2 alerts. I'll get alert from this too, if it gets too warm. And I can always set the thermostat to automatically kick on. And yeah, my battery bank will run that AC if it's full for 2 or 3 hours if necessary, but that's almost never necessary because I'm not going to leave the kids in the trailer when I'm more than an hour away, or max 2 hours away. So I can kick it on. I can rest assured that the temperature is going to be controlled for a minimum of 2 hours, if not 3, giving me time to get back and take care of things. That down there is a top-down litter box for George. It's surprisingly neat. Although you see that vacuum in the corner, that's a daily use thing. Oh, and here's a camera that does stay in here, and it's kind of controlled on a swivel. I can search all over here looking for the kids when I can access that by Wi-Fi. That's made by Blink. And no, there's no subscription required to get that to work. In a previous video, I mentioned I had these things that I like to have at bedtime. When I go to bed, I have a little a phone and glasses and a little stand for the phone so I can listen to books on tape and watch videos. And I was putting it down here, was the only place I could think of, and I was digging down in here trying to find those things every night and struggling until I figured out, hey, I can just put one of these, and you see all that stuff is in there in that caddy where I know exactly where to find it. I have a fantastic fan with a remote here, and that is up here. Needs to be, looks like it's awful dusty. It needs to be cleaned out. So that needs to go on the to-do list. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I'd say it used to be Dottie's bed, but Dottie and George take turns on that bed. What else? I covered the slide out, stove, convection oven. That's pretty much it for inside the trailer. So let's see about the Casita. And I think we'll probably run into Dottie and George. But let's first, before we go in the Casita, there's George in the doorway. It's all fenced in, so George, they can't escape. First, I'm going to show you the storage. And please don't judge me. It's pretty crowded in here. There's the Predator 5000 propane and gas combination generator, and all kinds of things, Halloween decorations, things I have stored in here. It's not that bad. It's fairly neat, but it needs to be reorganized. And I just put in, I'll show you this, a mini split, if you're familiar with that is, and I'll show you what that looks like on the outside here. That's the mini split. And between the cost of it and all the wiring and installation, it was about $2,100. But I consider, hiring a professional electrician and a professional HVAC guy, I felt much better than trying to do it on my own. It's not as simple as you may think. And there's my Christmas pet, Rudolph. I have Rudolph every year. You probably can't see the nose light up. It's too bright. But here we go. We have a nice little covered porch. We've got a place to sit down and relax, a table. I want to work outside here. But let's look at what's inside. Well, first is Dottie. Hi, Dottie. Say hi, Dottie dog. So I have a little table here. And you notice there's a PC on it. It's for dining. And this thing swings out. If I undo it, well, I can't do it with one. It swings out and it doubles in size. So I have 4 chairs. There's 3 out here, and there's 1 in the first closet. And in the first closet, I have some clothes. And if I turn on this light, I have a nice printer. And just a lot of storage, some food. Please don't judge me for the sweets and cookies you see up there. Let's make it a judgment for you. A really kick-ass vacuum cleaner, because all the pet hair and stuff, you need it. Another closet that has 2 racks of drawers for storage, a couple of shelves out here for more storage, and then more shelves for more storage. And I left in the air conditioner that was installed in here. So if I'm ever here in the summer and this unit is having any kind of trouble keeping up, if it's 115, 120, then I can kick them both on and be comfortable. Right, Dottie? So we have end table. Great little, I just invested in this, a nice little trash can, metal trash can. I had a small plastic one that was a pain in the neck. I learned my lesson. And guess what? This couch, I bought it at, I think, Ashley Furniture here in Artesia. And here's a cool thing about it. I sit down and guess what? I hit that button and boom, I'm in a recliner. What do you think, Dottie? All right. And then we have the George resting and eating station that is out of Dottie's reach, so Dottie can't steal cat food. A little hidey place down there for George that he hasn't used in a year. A like college student size refrigerator that I just have kind of cold drinks and stuff in. That's it. And then we get over to, it looks like the same table as I had in the trailer. It is. It's a Walmart table that for me serves me very well as a desk. And here I have a really nice, I think Office Max. I bought this really nice, comfortable chair with lumbar support. And here's the technology I have here. Well, in my hand is a very expensive camera, a DJI Pocket 3. There's an Insta360 camera, and there's a couple other cameras on the wall over there I'll show you. Well, no, one other camera on the wall that I'll show you. This is a Apple monitor, very, very high quality Apple keyboard, a really nice Logitech mouse. I like this mouse better than the Apple one. And I have a Mac Mini Pro with 24 gigabytes of memory and 512 gigs of storage. Hang on just a second. All right, sorry for the interruption. I just got through saying the base unit here has 500 gigs of storage, but I have a extra like docking station here that I bought that has a 2 or 4 terabyte SSD in there. So I've got plenty of room for files and things of that nature. And as we back up here, we see the electronic fly swatter. There's another fly thing here. There are lots of flies in New Mexico. We have another top-down litter box for George. And of course, a giant, to me, giant is like a 60-inch TV that I bought at Walmart for, God, it was like $200. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous in how inexpensive these big screen TVs. I remember when big screen TVs first came out, it was like something like this would have been like $7,000-8,000. And then again, the same as what I have in the trailer, giving me the indoor and outdoor temperatures. And over here on the wall, we have, there's the another, this is like an action camera, and then various accoutrements for the various cameras that I have in Dottie's leash. But there's a couple more computers. If you're into computers, here's my most recent acquisition, and I'm gonna put this down and reverse it. This is for like when I go to a coffee shop and I want to do editing. This is a MacBook Pro M4 Pro. Isn't that beautiful? And there it goes. It's opening up. I didn't necessarily have to turn it on, but it's something that I'm excited about. And look at here. Let me turn this around. Yeah, that's me. This one, in a very real way, this is kind of my favorite computer that I have. It's an Alienware. There's my face. Right. And it kind of looks like, oh, Rob, that looks like a pretty new computer. Oh, fancy with those lights. This is, I got in 2014. But doesn't it look beautiful? So everything that I have except for this is Apple. This is a Alienware Windows PC. And yeah, I was able to, on an ad hoc basis, get Windows 11 on it, even though you're not supposed to be able to do it on the specs on this machine. It's too old, but I found a way on the internet to make it happen. And it's a good backup computer. I can do sessions on it. I can edit video. It takes a lot longer to edit video, but I can still edit video on here. I can and I can play my older games that I love so much. I don't game that much, but when I do, I like the stuff that's like, 15 years old. So, and I've been playing with it a lot lately, and so that's why it's sitting out on the dining room table here. So I'm not doing a lot of. Now, one thing I haven't really figured out here is how to shut off this thing, and I'm thinking hold down the power button. No, I think you just pop it. If you hold it down, it doesn't work. So that's off, because I made the mistake of just closing the lid a couple of weeks ago, and it sat for about a week or so, and I guess the power was still on because I took it to the coffee shop and opened it up, and guess what? No power whatsoever. Oh, you can't really see me, can you? Let's put it up there. There I am. So there was no power whatsoever, so I couldn't do anything in the coffee shop. So I learned my lesson to make sure, because I'm kind of new to Apple, to make sure I've turned it off so I'm not draining the battery, because it's kind of the power brick is kind of big and it's a pain to bring with you, and you don't want to have plug stuff in the coffee shop unless you have to. So what else can I show you? I'm not going to take it out, but I'll show you something else in the closet that is another favorite technology thing. See that that gray case right there? That is my MetaQuest 3, I believe, virtual reality. And the other thing down here that is a little subtle, but it's important, is under this comforter is a big chest that it's so heavy I can't even lift it, because you know what it's full of? I know what you think I'm full of. It's full of food. Canned stuff, dry stuff. If there's ever a situation where something happens where you can't get to food, for myself and these two kids here, we have enough food to last us for, I think, at least a couple of months. Right, Dottie, George? It's only 3:20. You don't eat until 5, so I don't know why you guys are both staring at me. George, Giddy, Dottie. Oh, and this is what the mini split looks like inside. And the artwork on the walls, this is just stuff that I picked up at the local thrift store. And then, of course, we have our classic clock that reminds me of all the clocks in every school, grade school I was ever in. And you know what? I'm trying to think, is there anything that I've missed? It's super comfortable in here. The mini split does, like right now it's on AC because it's 81 outside, 72 in here. But like this morning, it was like 61 in here. So I flipped on the heat on it and it throws good heat. And it's been as low as like just under 32 degrees and it still works just fine. And if it didn't, I have an electric heater I can bring in here and use but it rarely gets that cold here. But I'm trying to think, is there anything else? If you have questions about anything that I saw, other than I'm not disclosing exactly where I live, but there are lots of places, especially in the Southwest United States, especially Arizona and Nevada, there are tons of places that you can long-term lease or buy an RV lot like this, so the lot becomes yours permanently. You can have a casita on it and a storage shed in a place that you can live year-round if you want to. I don't want to, but someday I may need to. Who knows? We don't know what the future may bring. And there, I'm going to be showcasing one in a couple of weeks. What was the name of that? Robert, hang on. Let's look it up. Something Roost. I'm going to stop by one of these places on the way to Quartzsite. Smuggler's Roost. And if you want to check it out, it's smugglersroost.net is the website. And they are in southwestern New Mexico, not far off Interstate 10, which is about halfway to Quartzsite for me in that spot. And they invited me to spend the night there and do a video on them. Let's see, they you can rent sites there or buy sites. Let's see, frequently asked questions. Explore. There must be a place where it's got lots for sale. Somewhere here. Explore? Roost with us. Site ownership is a 99-year renewable lease. So you're not really buying it, you're leasing it like forever. Okay, premium site, discounted cash price starting at $14,999, so $15,000. So there's tiered pricing based on the location of the site. So I guess there's some that might be more desirable than others. One thing that I've heard about this place in the comments when I said I was going there is that it's very remote. So they have a section, how far are food and beverage or groceries? So let's go with groceries. How far are groceries? There's Boothiel Grocery and Valley Mercantile are less than a mile away. Those are convenience stores. 19 miles away is Farm Fresh Greens, Veggies, pickup on the farm or a portal. And then Sky Islands Grill and Grocery, 18 miles, convenience store. There's a supermarket in Lordsburg, New Mexico, 37 miles, and a Food City, 70 miles away. And a Walmart is 72 miles. So here's the bottom line. It's pretty remote. And if you were going to live there, you would have to resign yourself. Let's just say it's Walmart's your game. Walmart or Food City. That's a 70-mile trip. Probably, I'm going to guess the speed limits are about 70 miles an hour and probably not that much traffic. So an hour each way to go to the supermarket. So what does that mean? I might go to the supermarket or into town 2 or 3 times a week where I am because it's so close, right? Or maybe 4 times a week. That's a luxury. That if I lived in this other place, I'd probably say, okay, I'm going to go once a week. I'll probably make my weekly trip on Saturdays or Sundays or Wednesdays or whatever is going to be most convenient for me. So what other things? Food and beverages like restaurants. PW's restaurant, breakfast, lunch, early dinner, and takeout distance is 300 feet. So I guess it's in the park. And then Sky Island's Grill and Grocery, 18 miles. Rodeo Grocery and Cafe, 20 miles. Porto Peak Lodge Store and Cafe, 25 miles. So it's remote. There's some people like being remote, but either way, you're going to see video on it. Because on November 30th, I'm going to go there and I'm going to do a full video on that whole place. And I'll show you sites that might be available and what they're costing. And I'll talk to people that live there and ask them the hard questions. How is it being so remote? How do you handle that? Were you concerned about that when you moved here? Are you still concerned about that? I'll ask good questions. Don't worry. I'll take care of you. But I hope you enjoyed the tour, and I'm hesitating and hemming and hawing because I'm feeling like I've left something out, but I showed you the inside and outside of the trailer, my truck, the inside of the casita, even the storage shed, my front porch, the kids, Dottie and George. This morning they were both on the floor there, and I heard kind of a low growl, and they were facing each other and their noses were like an inch apart. And Dottie was, I think, taking exception to that. Dottie was not a fan of that kind of closeness. So it's never gotten worse than Dottie giving 2 barks. Ruff, ruff. That's it with George. I've been attacked by George when I've, like, in the confines of the trailer, accidentally would step on Dottie's foot or something, and then Dottie would yelp. George has flown at me fighting to protect Dottie. Now, I've stepped on George too, but Dottie's not come out fighting me for doing that. So I don't know what that means. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'm going to get editing on this and get it out there for you. I'll see you tomorrow.